Check this out. I mounted an underwater security camera beneath my floating dock. You know I love bass behavior. This thing is scheduled to record 24/7. I can't wait to see all the footage we're going to capture. I am also going to set up all kinds of different experiments that we can observe together. If you have any ideas and things you'd like to see tested, just comment below. What I'm most interested in is observing bass in the wild in their natural state. Today's video is the first of many about some of the things I observe here. My hope is that we can together look at these observations and learn something about bass behavior. Now, this first one is about light versus shade and how predators use this to their advantage. I've mentioned this before, that looking from the dark into the light or a well-lit area is a natural advantage to a predator looking for food. And as you can see here, this is exactly what we have. You can see where and how the bass are positioned. They are all looking towards the lighted water, and of course with their vision the way it is, they can clearly see the well-lit water on both ends as well. And each of them are positioned in the shadows, making it easy to see out. Now take note, the biggest bass here is positioned way in the back and tight up to the floating pontoon, but still facing the same way. And just as a reference point, I have recorded lots of footage already when the bass are in a more loafing mode, where they are completely turned the other direction. Now, it didn't take long, and I started to see these bass dart out and attack baitfish. When one takes off, the other bass react. But the big fish never gets aggressive. It moves forward some, but doesn't seem to be in the same feeding mood the others are in. Now, the prey here, or the baitfish, I'm 99% sure are baby bass, probably from last year's hatch. Here we can even see the prey trying to escape and darting around under the dock. Now watch this. As the school of prey swims around out in front of the dock and moves to the far end of it, look at how the bass reposition themselves. Even though we clearly don't see the school, their other senses must kick in and they turn together. Really interesting. Now check this out. I snuck down here quietly and tossed a weighted wacky rig in front. You can see it drop. The younger bass see it and come to investigate. Clearly, I moved the lure too soon and didn't let it sit long enough, because this bass was coming right in, but my poor presentation ended things early. Now watch. I made a second cast and the bass bolt. The big fish takes off before we can even see the wacky rig enter the picture. And no, I didn't bounce it off the pontoon and make a loud clang. But after a minute or two, the smaller bass came back, but the big fish went deep and did not return. Really interesting. Well, for about the next 20 minutes or so, the bass would continually dart out to attack the school of prey when it came by. And each time they circled back to reposition in the shade. Now here is something else interesting that happened. We have the bait come real close and down in the water column. All the bass turn to watch. But a turtle thinks it's going to get in on the action, and not one bass darts into the school like they did every other time the school of prey came by. Super interesting. It's also fun to see when these bass kick in the afterburner. They can cover a lot of distance so incredibly fast. I'm going to be putting lots of footage like this into my bass behavior bundle over the next couple of months. The link to it is down below. And hey, if you would like to watch a video on the differences between pegged and unpegged worm weights with some underwater footage that's pretty interesting, go ahead and check this one out right here. And make sure that you go out and encourage someone today. You never know how you might just change their life. For the Bass Fishing Life, I'm your host, Steve Rogers.